Capistrano, so yesterday I was reading the Book of Saints about him. He's a very interesting person, and once you hear his biography, you'll probably say, why is he a saint at all? It's worth listening to. John was born in Capistrano, Italy, in 1385. His father had come to Italy to work for the King of Naples. As a young man, he studied law at the University of Perugia and became a successful lawyer. In 1412, King Ladislaus of Naples appointed him governor of Perugia in order to effectively establish public order. When war broke out between Perugia and a neighboring region in 1416, John was sent as an ambassador to broker peace, but he was arrested and thrown into prison. It was during this imprisonment that he began to think more seriously about his soul. He decided eventually to give up the world and become a Franciscan friar, owing to a dream he had in which he saw St. Francis and was told by the saint to enter the order. Having never consummated the marriage he had already entered, he asked and received permission from his wife to annul the marriage, and he started studying theology. John entered the Franciscan order of Perugia October 4th, 1416. At once he gave himself up to the most rigorous forms of penance and religious practices. From 1420 onwards, he preached with great effect in numerous cities and eventually became very well known. Unlike most preachers of the 15th century, John was effective in northern and central Europe, in the German states of the Holy Roman Empire, Bohemia, Moravia, Austria, Hungary, Croatia, and the Kingdom of Poland. The largest churches could not hold the crowds, so he preached in public squares. In Brescia, Italy, he once preached to a crowd of 125,000 people. Like most people of his day, John had anti-Semitic feelings and often preached against the Jews. Some of his preaching against the Jews even brought about anti-Semitic violence. Between 1451 and 1453, his fiery sermons against the Jews persuaded many southern German regions to expel their entire Jewish population. And in Silesia, then the Kingdom of Bohemia, many were burned at the stake. When he was not preaching, John was writing commentaries against heresies of every kind. He strongly emphasized devotion to the holy name of Jesus and was accused of heresy on this account. In 1429, he was called to Rome to answer charges of heresy, but was acquitted. He was frequently deployed to various embassies by various popes in order to settle differences between the papacy and regional governments. John visited all parts of the empire, preaching and combating various heresies of the time. In spite of his rabid prosecution of heretics, he found time to work for the reform of the Franciscan order and is considered to be one of the great reformers of the Franciscans. After the fall of Constantinople to the Ottoman Empire under Sultan Mehmed II, much of Christian Europe felt threatened. The following year, the Pope sent John, who was already age 70, to preach a crusade against the Turks. He gained little response in Bavaria and Austria, so he decided to concentrate his efforts in Hungary. John succeeded in gathering together enough troops to march on to Belgrade, which at that time was under siege by Turkish forces. In the summer of 1456, these troops managed to defeat the Turks and free Belgrade. This accomplishment earned him the nickname of the soldier priest. Although he survived the battle, John fell victim to the bubonic plague, which flourished in the unsanitary conditions of the time. He died on October 23, 1456, near Croatia, and is buried there. Today, he is venerated primarily in the countries of Eastern Europe. John of Capistrano was an enigmatic person who lived during a difficult period of time. The bubonic plague had killed nearly a third of the population of Europe. England and France were at war. Italian federations were continually in conflict, and 3 men claimed to be the Pope at the same time. It is no wonder that John himself was caught up in the extremism of the times. His anti-Semitic views would be considered sinful and racist today, and his support for the disastrous efforts of the Crusades remains questionable. Even so, he was the kind of person who did what he believed was right in bringing order to a church that was badly divided. While some may consider him to be anything but a saint, his contributions to the stability of many countries, especially in Eastern Europe, were many. When we reflect on the life of someone like St. John of Capistrano, we should remember that being a saint does not mean that someone was perfect. John was hardly a perfect man. He lived in an imperfect world, yet he gave everything to defend the good of the church in his own way. Perhaps his life serves as a lesson of what to do and what not to do in order to achieve sanctity.